Going back watching the tape, it was a tough loss. Hated it for the kids. I watched they played with really, really good effort. I thought the special teams really gave us a spark. I thought that was the first time really with Elijah making that play, kept us into it in the first half, and I thought Mac did a good job pinning them down. So I thought special teams gave us a spark. Defensively, man, the kids were flying around, gave us a chance to win the football game. Offensively, they were competing. Um, Again, some of the things I think were Auburn inflicted, playing on the road. Some of them were self-inflicted, and that's the stuff that we got to go get corrected this week, and we will. But overall, pleased with the kids' effort. Just hurt for them and disappointed because object of the game is to go win, and there are no moral victories. But excited to get back home. It's a military appreciation week for us, so excited to honor the men and women of our military this week, and be a big week to come back home against New Mexico State and go get a win.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Matt, New Mexico State's coming in here, a winless football team, and they're at the bottom of a lot of statistical categories. I know you guys have watched them. Just your initial thoughts.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of respect for those guys, and you respect every opponent. They throw it around a lot offensively, and kind of the Washington State Mike Leach spread, and they do a really good job with that. So I think we'll have our work cut out for us, and we got to do a great job. But I think the main thing for us is getting back on the practice field, going to work, and focusing on us and going to get better.
Do you know more about Scotty Phillips' status?
Yeah, so Scotty hurt his ankle. I'm going to know more tomorrow. I would say he's questionable, and we'll look at it. He did not practice yesterday. He may try to go. Well, he'll be he's off today and may try to go tomorrow, but I'd say he's questionable.
In the two-quarterback system, Matt, how involved in you are discussions with Rich, and how do y'all reach the conclusions there?
Yeah, I think John Rice, obviously some things he does with his legs is keeping us in the game. There we didn't have any turnovers right there up to the last to that last drive, and having opportunities to win football games. So I think protecting the ball is, but we have to make some plays in the passing game to get over that hump, because we're right there and we've got to get over the hump, and us executing in the passing game. And some of it is execution, and again, that comes back to coaching. We had a 3rd and 5 drop. We had some, bad throw, but I think, maybe giving the kids and continue to put them in better situations. That's up to us as coaches.
Going off that, Matt, Rich was pretty critical after the game of the offense, passing game in general. Do you think it's time to reevaluate some of what you guys are doing, or is it just kind of shoring up some of the other things?
I think for sure it comes back to execution and going back and doing the little things right, because there are some plays to be made in the passing game, even with what we're calling. And so before you start going out and making a whole bunch of changes, I think you go out and execute what you do, because you got to go back to the fact that you're in games and you have chances to win these games, and if we execute better, we will win the games.
3 games into this 2-quarterback rotation system, how would you evaluate how it has worked so far?
Yeah, obviously, the last 2 games for sure we haven't got it done, so it's disappointing. In Missouri, same thing. So again, anytime you're not winning, you always go back and look at it. But again, I think you have to go back and say, okay, we're right there. We have an opportunity to win these games. What can we do to get over the hump? And again, I think it's just, again, the attention to detail, continue to play with effort, continue to put yourself in those situations, and we will get there.
I think going off on what Nick said, this late in the season, how much can you, schematically actually change just from a realistic time perspective?
Yeah, again, as far as being schematic, I think you go out there and you get better at what you do. There are some plays to be made in the passing game. I think everybody, our running game is really good, and so we got to complement that with some big plays in the passing game, and it's there. We just got to go out there and execute.
Did you send any plays to the office this week, and in particular, did you get any answer about that first Auburn touchdown where it looked like they pulled the guy into the end zone?
No. Again, it was, we did send some plays in, and you have that, there's a standard operating procedure where they give you, feedback on it. But again, there wasn't, we didn't get anything that was, I guess, that was a, critical or a huge game changer.
Matt, and I might be one play off, but I don't think our wide receivers, not Elijah, but the outside guys, caught a pass until maybe Braylon Sanders, which was unfortunately called back. Is that just the young guys who've not been able to beat their guys, or are we just not calling those plays? What's going on there?
And again, some of it is, Auburn's a really good defense, and they're really good on the outside, plus they had a good pass rush. So some of it is protecting some young players, but some of it is execution, because there was a couple times where they had the opportunity to get the ball in some one-on-one situations, and we just got to do a better job of getting that done. But the plays are there to be made. They are. I mean, and again, Braylon made the play. There's a couple times, we tried Mingo, and just didn't execute on that play. But again, when you're playing against a really good defense, you don't get many opportunities. And so when you do get those opportunities, you got to make them. Yeah, absolutely. And when they do that, you got to be able to take advantage with some big plays. And when you do when you do take those shots, you got to hit them, and you can't just miss them, and you can't. That's the difference right now in winning and losing football games. And again, the good thing is we're not a finished product. I mean, we got a long way to go with a bunch of young players, and we're playing against the best there is in the country, and we're right there with young players. So to me, I know we're going to get there. We just got to continue to work and keep pushing, and we'll get it done.
Along those lines, when Matt did come in at Missouri, he seemed to give you all a spark in the passing game on that first drive he was in that ended down by the goal line. And kind of the same thing against A&M with the 2 Braylon catches that got overturned. Was there any thought to kind of implementing him a little more in the second half as you guys were struggling in the passing game?
You know what, John Rice, I think the last drive was good. And, we got something right there before half with the run game and the 21 personnel with 2 backs and a tight end, and that kind of gave them some problems and kind of gave us a spark. And then we were able to go on that drive right before to get it to a 1-score game, and kind of John Rice had the hot hand right there and, did a nice job getting us down the field on the last drive. We just got to make the play to win the game.
How much do you look at, like, late game passing when the ball's moving a little bit better through the air kind of towards the end of the fourth quarter, and maybe try to implement that sort of thing throughout the entire game?
Yeah, I mean, you look at everything, but some of our draw RPO game has been good, but John Rice running and throwing. So again, we'll look at everything and evaluate it all.
Where do you stand with Corral at this point, and then what's his confidence level after kind of what he's gone through the last few weeks?
Yeah, you know what, I think Matt, to his credit, has handled this really good. He's been very supportive of John Rice and has been really good through this whole thing. So I think everybody just wants to win. Everybody's tired of coming close. The players, and that's why you hurt for them, because of how hard and how much they are playing, how much they're giving. And again, we got 3 games left, and shoot, these kids are going to show up and ready to go to work. And I think Matt's been a big part of that, him handling this situation really well. And I think he's been great, a great teammate and being very unselfish.
If you're fortunate enough to get up some on Saturday, is there a chance you might put Den in there since he's still got the 4 games?
Yeah, I'm not going to get our. I mean, we're focused on trying to win the game. I mean, if some situations present themselves, we'll look at trying to play people. But again, our focus is on winning the football game.
Matt, statistically, the numbers, the record, those things are not good for New Mexico State. How do you keep your players' attention?
Well, I think our guys are hungry to go get better. I think that's the unique part about this team is they do keep fighting and competing and working to get better each and every week, and they'll continue to do that. We got 3 games left that are promised to us, and we're going to go out and attack it. And there's no way. There's the best way to go out and get that bad taste out of your mouth is to go back to work and focus on us. So I think that'll be critical for us this week.
Matt, I just wanted to ask, I know after Kadir Shepard drew that penalty on Saturday night, he didn't come back into the ball game. Any other lingering effects on that for him?
No, again, we don't want to have unselfish. We don't want to have selfish penalties, so he didn't go back in because of that. We only had 2 penalties in the game, and it was that one and then the holding call on the last drive. So discipline and the way that we play is important, and that's we want to make sure that the culture of this program stays that way, and Kadir knows that, and he's a great young man, and he'll learn from it and move forward.